I am home at my house in Brizzy today. It is absolutely blowing a gale here. We're a long way from the ocean, but it is blowing a gale. It's been raining all day. I went for a dive yesterday. I got out of the water, and within 2 hours of getting out of the water, the swell jumped from 1 metre to 5 metres. It was absolutely insane. Overnight, wave 11.5 metres hit the Brisbane wave buoy, which is insane. And I'm just going to give you a little insight into what happens in the hours leading up to a massive swell, one of the biggest swells of the year to hit our coast right here. This is my house. Beautiful, it's nice, but not going to be so nice down the coast just there today. Hope you enjoy. Well, we've got about a week forecast of really wild weather, and it's supposed to be really nasty today, but it's actually really flat and good. Raining a little bit, starting to blow a little bit, but a couple of hours before it blows, I might just jump in and see what I can find. Stole Bryce's boat for a little spin, and I can feel those fish calling me. Love the nice snapper this morning. Mulloway would be great. See how we go. First dive, I hopped into the shallows. I couldn't believe how fishy it was. Bait high, bait low on the bottom. I just expected to see a mulloway at any moment as I headed down into some of these gutters. Second dive was just a little bit deeper, more off the edge of the drop-off. As I swam along the bottom, I was just met with a carpet of bait. I couldn't believe how thick it was. Yakka's just so thick. Third dive was a bit deeper again. As I came down to the bottom, it wasn't just bait this time, there were surgeons as well. I laid there just expecting to see a snapper or a mulloway at any moment. Couldn't believe how thick the bait and the surgos were in this place. As I come down on this fourth dive, again, thick bait, thick surgeons, just looked incredible as I lay on the bottom. Bait spooked past me at one moment. For me, I thought a big school of mulloway was about to swim past. As I lay here, I started to hear the noise of mulloway. Now, many people have asked me what this sounds like. Have a listen to this. This dive again was in the same spot. Fishy as, lots of surgeons, lots of bait, but I could hear the mulloway really loud. Here's the second time I could hear those mulloway. This is the noise that you hear when you're hunting these fish. As I come to the bottom, I noticed the bait this time sitting really high and really spooky. For me, it's always a thought that maybe as I was on the surface, a big school of mulloway come through, or just maybe a single hunting fish. As I'm heading to the bottom on this dive, I notice that the bait has settled back to the bottom. I also notice I can hear mulloway really loud again. As I lay there scratching, I looked up and started to see some snapper coming off in the distance. There was a really good bunch of fish there. There was probably 20 to 30 snapper, very hard to pick up on the camera. But fish around the 3 to 4 kilo mark were quite common in the school. I did a couple more dives here and didn't see any more snapper, so I headed back to that really fishy spot. When I got to the bottom, it looked exactly the same. Heaps of surgeons, heaps of bait. All of a sudden the surgeons and bait spooked and a big school of GTs came flying by. Some of these fish were big, up to 25 kilos. The wind had started to pick up quite significantly. As I got to the bottom on this dive, I heard the whales getting louder and louder and louder. You can hear the calls just piercing, and they shook my chest as I laid there on the bottom. I notice often when the wind picks up like this, the whales get more active. On about my 10th dive, I hit the bottom and there was big schools of bait again, but I noticed there was a bunch of brim heading back into a cave. I just followed them and saw the dots dark in the cave of a really nice little mulloway. Popped my head in there, had a look, and he came and gave me a glance. It was quite hard to pick up in the dark. As I'm headed to the bottom on this dive, I noticed there's not actually a lot of bait. That put me on alert, thinking there's got to be a mulloway here somewhere. Put my head over that boulder and I nearly headbutted a really nice mulloway. Had to slowly get my gun in position, pull the trigger with my thumb as I shot that mulloway point blank. After watching this footage later on at home, I saw something that I didn't actually see live. I noticed when I looked to my left, bait tucked really tight beside the rock. As I swing my head back to the right, I see that mulloway coming straight at me. If you watch it slowly, you can see it's focused completely on that bait tucked under the rock. The bait starts to move away just as I pull the trigger. The reason that fish didn't go anywhere, it was mesmerised in hunting mode and didn't even see me. For me, it's actually a really incredible thing as a Spearo to see a fish hunting like this. No doubt this fish is making sure it feeds up before a couple of days of really toughing it out when the weather and the swell and the wind is going to be huge. Couple hours in the water and the storm is on its way. It's pretty much actually here right now. Time to head in. Stoked with a big mulloway, pretty cool. Crystal clear water. It's pretty flat until it started blowing and I can feel that swell just really starting to pick up. In the next 2 or 3 days it's just going to be insane here. It's going to be monstrous swells. But we got out anyway, got it done. Very cool. Hey, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Just remember, if you make your way onto Adreno, you can grab all your Rife gear, 10% discount, Tim Spear, right there at Adreno. Also, Adreno has opened up for their own Adreno products, the stuff you can't get through Rife. Make sure you jump online, grab some of that stuff, or go in the store. You will grab a whole bunch of gear in there. That'll be awesome. Thank you all. Get out, get into it. Now this is exactly what it looked like the next day. Swell 4 to 5 metres. A bar that I drove out without a single wave now has got waves breaking 200 metres beyond the bar.